What's going on, folks? Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, hey, how you doing? I'm Chris. I've been reselling for almost 2 years now, and actually in today's video I want to take you through that journey. I want to share some pretty exciting news with you. Some of you, if you've been watching along the way, you will already know this in the last week. I'm going to share those details with you. I actually resigned from my full-time job that I've been on a leave of absence from for the last 2 years. I've resigned from it. It's done. It's over. And over the last week I've been reflecting on that, and I want to share with you that journey in a nutshell, just what that took, what that looked like, and maybe to give you some insight and also to give you the reality of what that kind of looks like. We're going to obviously touch on the numbers for week 97 of reselling, and I'll take you through all those details. And if you stick around to the end, I do have some show and tell of in the storage unit and some different things that have happened this week. So let's dive in. So as I said last week, I officially resigned from my previous job working in professional services as a project manager, and I've been on a leave of absence since January 2021. Now, if you've been following along, you know I've been documenting this. But regardless, I want to give you a bit more detail and go through the flashback of how this has happened, what that has looked like. And if you do want to hear the full version of this, like a 25-minute version of this, you can go listen to it on my podcast, Further Your Lifestyle. And really the whole point of this message or this video is one, to inspire you, but most of all to just help you understand that when you apply consistency with action, you too can progress onwards and upwards. If we take a big step back to 2020, when I had actually made the decision to take a leave of absence from my full-time job, and that was for personal reasons. Basically, I realized that I was spending too much time working for someone else, and if I didn't spend more time working on my own dreams and ambitions, they were never going to happen, or maybe not for about 40 years. So I figured, and I asked myself, what would happen if I spent the same amount of time doing things of my own accord, meaning working for myself, building my passions, building my dreams, and making those goals a reality, to see what would happen. Now, in lead up to actually me finishing, I had about 3 months before I knew I was going to be on that leave of absence. And rather than just jumping straight in, this was around September, October 2020, rather than just jumping in the deep end in January, I took it upon me to try and, get familiar, get comfortable, get used to doing this reselling world. Now, I had always done a little bit of flipping since I was younger, but I've never really done it as a business or as a reselling gig. So back in November 2020, and you can jump over and have a look at this video. I'll chuck it up and you can jump over to it either in the top corner or go over in the description below. But basically, this was when I was learning to flip, and my first month of reselling in November 2020, I did $350 in the month. Now, to me, that blew my mind. It was crazy to think that you could just start from zero and start to make some pretty cool dollars. And we all start from zero. That is the beauty of it. We all start from zero, and we all have a chance to put the ceiling as high as we want to take it, really. So by the time I landed in January 2021, I was ready to go. I didn't have to worry about trying to learn the ropes. And by the time I got to January, I was earning about $1,287 for that month. That was the first month of being full-time. By May, I started to average around $3,000 a month, and then as I moved closer and closer to May and December of 2021, I was averaging around $5,200 per month, and then since then, all the way up until now, I've been averaging around $6,500. Best month I've done, I think, was over $8,500. Still haven't hit that 10k month, which is still a big goal, but the beauty of all this is it's been consistent, and it's been able to get me to where I've wanted to be, and that is to step away from the 9 to 5 and 100% say now I am treading my own path. I am doing it myself, and I don't have to think about plan B. Plan B is myself. How can I continue to elevate myself today so I can get further and closer to where I want to be? So what happened between back then and now? And this is going to sound cliche, but this is why I want to have this video, because this is the reality of what it takes. And this is what it took. It took consistency and action, and it meant that I had to learn how to sell items. It meant I had to learn how to find more items. I had to learn how to list items. I had to learn how to photo items. I had to learn how to pack items. I had to learn how to track inventory. I had to learn how to post items. I had to learn how to manage cash flow better. I had to learn how to deal with customers. I had to learn how to do this all a little bit better each week and each month. And the quickest way for me to do that, and this is where you can step in, the quickest way for you to do this, and what I did, was watch others and learn from their insight and understand from their knowledge and leverage it. Because they're already a year ahead of you, 2 years ahead of you, 5 years ahead of you. Someone that's watching this that is starting, I'm now 2 years ahead of you, so you can learn from me of what I can share. And I try and share as much as possible. There's plenty of things that I'm still learning to share, but the idea is that the things that I share with you, which is point number 2, is you need to now go and experience that. You need to go do that and do it again and adjust it. Make it your own. Find your own process, find your own workflows. And that is it. Number 1, is learn from others. Number 2 is experience it and learn it for yourself. So what made this a lot easier, and this would be whether it's some hints, some tips or insight that I would give back to you, is 1, have expectations, have understanding of milestones that you want to complete. And this is what I did. I was sharing and documenting my journey, so I knew I wanted to keep myself accountable, and by doing that, sharing with you guys, it meant that I was staying accountable. I was being able to move forward and continue to show up and show you what I've achieved or what I hadn't achieved. And I was sharing the numbers. I was knowing that sharing this, it was keep me accountable, but also I needed these numbers anyway because they were paying my bills. It was the most important thing at that point in time because I didn't have any other cash flow coming in. So, I mean, I've got a few little investments and other little side hustles at the time, but not as much as I do now. And, that was the reality check of it. So I had to do it in order to pay the bills. And then number 2 was building a routine. And to make it easier, how do I find a time that when I will source, when I will film, when I will list, when I will post, when will I do X, Y, Z? And by having that routine, it made it a lot easier to just turn on and turn off of doing the things that I needed to do to get done in order to get to where I wanted to be. And then number 3, this one was really important, and it's kind of what I alluded to before, but iterating with growth. As you learn more, you need to apply more. As you make a mistake, you need to find the root cause of that mistake and fix it, so you don't make the mistake again. As you challenge yourself, you need to understand that there is going to be risks and things that you need to manage against those risks. And I spoke about this in my previous video last week about a SWOT analysis of how you can do that. And as you need help, you need to ask for help. As you develop, you need to share. And as you do all this, you need to rinse and repeat. And as you do that, it becomes so much easier. It almost becomes seamless, or more so. And that is my summary of the last 2 years. But it's been a very humbling experience, and I'm so grateful for all the people within the community, whether you're a watcher, whether you're someone that's been inspiring me, or someone that's just, has nothing to do with the reselling community, and you're just here simply just to see what's going on. I appreciate it all, because all those views, all those comments, all that encouragement, all that feedback and support has enabled me to continue to strive going forward. Of course, there's nothing more powerful than yourself. Because all you people can say all you want, but if I don't go do the work, I'm not going to get any results. So the important thing to remember is that if you're starting this, if you're somewhere in a journey where you want to elevate this, the only thing you can do is go learn, go get more understanding, and then apply it and take action. That's as simple as it gets. Now, from here, what happens? Well, I go full force and continuing to grow. I've got big ambitions, big goals, and some of this I do share, on my Further Your Lifestyle podcast, and I share it within some bounds and reasons, simply because I'm trying to manage my expectations. But at the same time, it's good to have long-term setting of goals and long-term understanding of where you want to be. And I'm talking not just in 1 year, 2 years, I'm talking 5 years and 7 years. But that's a whole different conversation. Do you set goals? Do you think long-term, or how do you go ahead and project of where you want to be? I'm curious to know. Let me know in the comments below. I do want to just say one more thing. Something which I do get asked about, it's like, oh, how do you survive? How do you make this work for yourself? How can you live off, a wage of $500 profit a week or something like this? Well, the reality is this. So I'm not here to hide anything from you. I'm not here to, say that, oh yeah, I'm doing all these things and it's making lots of money. Look, I'm very grateful for the reselling world and how much money it does make me. And, I use a lot of different systems to manage my money in terms of profit first, and how I manage my personal income, and making sure that what's coming in from the business is funding and fueling my lifestyle. But the other things that I want to make sure people understand that, in doing this, since starting this back in January 2021, jumping into this game, and I share about this in my podcast, but things you need to understand and consider is this. Before going into this, I had a savings fund, meaning I had savings that I've been saving up for the last 7 years, that enabled me to basically say, how long will it take until I have no money in case I don't earn a single dime? So I went into this understanding that if I did not earn any money from reselling, knowing that I wanted to build my own dreams, passions, and goals to get out of the 9 to 5, I knew how long I had to kind of last, and that was 4+ years. It was longer than 4 years because I'd been saving for so long. So I knew that I had that moat to keep me comfortable, and it took me only about 5 months until I didn't have to dig into that anymore. The other thing was I've had a share portfolio when starting this reselling gig. I had a share portfolio for 7 years prior to that, and that was probably sitting at around in the high 200,000s, meaning I'd been, investing for 7 years, so I'd built quite another big moat with that. I haven't accessed this, I haven't used it. Obviously, yes, it's a nice amount of money, but it's not liquid. It's in the share market. I have to pay tax on that if I withdraw it. And that's where it was before I started this journey as well. I knew that I had this backup plan, knowing that, okay, worst case, I've got money to play with if I need to. I haven't had to use it. I also have 2 rental properties going into this. I had 2 rental properties and I still do, and they bring in some income and also bring in some, additional benefits as well when it comes to the tax time. And the other thing that, to be frank, is, yes, I'm 31, I'm still living at home, I still live with my folks, so I don't have all the additional, cost pressures. One, having my own family, don't have kids, I don't have to pay certain bills. Obviously, I don't have to pay electricity and things. I do pay a board to my parents, but, the reality is my circumstance is different to everyone's, and the reality is also that you need to understand what your current reality is and what your circumstance is, and how do you make this work for you. I'm not saying go quit your job and just, expect that everything's just going to work out. How do you build a plan to make that happen, right? And I want to be very, very clear about that, because everyone's circumstance is different. We all have a different unfair advantage, and you need to understand that before jumping or diving into doing something like this. There's risks. There's, things that you need to manage too. And I wanted to make sure people understood that that's the reality that I went through. All right, we're going to dive into the numbers for the week. It's actually been pretty solid. Week 97, I can't complain. It's been encouraging to be able to see some of the results continuing through, and I've had a lot of the consistent sales coming in from the media lot. So anyway, let's dive into the numbers, starting off with the top 4 items sold and one cool item. So top item number 1 for this week was this All Adventure DVD, the complete series 1 to 7. This one I'd actually never sold before. I'd never seen before. This one came from my big bulk purchase, so it works out to be about 28 cents now. And that's because I'm continuing to list and continuing to sort through and understand how much items I've actually got. So the price I sold this for was $119, and I've been able to walk away with $78.90 after fees and postage. Top item number 2 for this week was this Get Smart Complete Seasons of 1 to 5, also from the bulk media lot. This one up for 28 cents. That's what the current average cost of goods is, and I've been able to sell it for $75 and walked away with $52.99 after fees and postage. Top item number 3 for this week, and this one took me by surprise actually, was a sealed video cassette, and apparently these were collectible versions. Now this one, 28 cents, also from that bulk media lot, and I've been able to sell it for $68.50. I believe it's going over to the UK, and I've walked away with about $36.23 after fees and postage. Just incredible. And then the 4th top item for this week, something different, is this Korn 2004 belt buckle I picked up in the op shop, paid about $3.60 for it, and I've been able to sell it for $60.90, and it's going all the way over to the US, and I've walked away with $26.64 back into my pocket. Now the cool item for this week is this Leopard Large Cat City Jungle Lego. Now for this one I got for free. It came out of a Lego lot, which I've made all my money back on. I actually don't know which Lego lot it's come out of, but there's no cost of good for this because it's probably one of 10,000 pieces, to be honest, and I've been able to sell it for $30. After fees and postage, I've walked away with $17.22. So it just goes to show that if you do your research on the minifigures, on the different items within Lego, you can make some good money. It's been sitting for a while though. So how have we actually progressed for week 97? Well, surprisingly, it's actually been a low sales week, and I think this makes sense because a lot of people are probably waiting it out for Black Friday sales that are starting from this week, and some places are doing sales early, but essentially we've done 47 sales, margin was 43.5%, been moving out a lot of older stock, which has been good, so not high profits on it, but just getting that cash flow back in the pocket. Cost of goods, $189, we sold $1,675 worth, and profit worked out to be $728. From an ASP perspective, we've had a higher ASP this week, $35.65. Average cycle time worked out to be 109 days per item on average. In terms of what's been selling, it's been a lot of DVDs, a lot of books and video games. You can see for yourself what has been selling and where the profits have been. We're going to jump into some show and tell, share with you basically, what's been happening, a little bit of vloggy style, me just ranting and talking about what's been happening in the storage unit. If you do have any questions, chuck them down below. Yeah, let's dive in. Alright team, welcome to Monday. We've got 28 items going out, just doing it all now. Just time to pull it all out, took 14 minutes and 16 seconds. I had a few skewing issues, things put in the wrong spot, but that's okay, this is all part of it. Just going to quickly show you everything that I've got. We've got these guys going over to the UK. They sold this morning actually, I think that's about 75 bucks there. This one, they sit for a while. If you've got them in bundles, they will move. That's gone for like 19 bucks. Got a $10, $10, $25. This has gone for 60. Got a couple of PlayStations going out. I've got just a box of Tasmania, a couple more DVDs, video games, some books. All this is anywhere between 10 all the way up to $30. That one's gone for like 80 bucks. Also going overseas. This one's gone for 30, I think it was. These two gone for about 30. This one's gone for like 20. We've got a couple, these guys going out for 30. These gone for like quick 15 or 20, I think it was. That's gone for like 15. Just this quick CD going out for 10 bucks as well. I've also got a Xbox box going out and a PlayStation 3 box going out. It's already kind of packed up. Yeah, pretty good. I'm gonna obviously track the packing now and see how we go. Whew, all right, 28 packages all packed, as you can see here. La-di-da-di-da. Got these two big ones as well. They actually took a fair bit because I had to give some extra packaging and extra love, which is expected. So total time at the moment is 1 hour and 15, so 14:16 for picking and about an hour and 1 minute for packing. Now we're going to do print off and then we're done. All right, all done. Total was 1 hour and 38 minutes. Final lap was 22 minutes. About on par, so everything's all done now. I'm going to pack it up and get out of here. I'm going to go say hi to the manager, have a chat, and put out some business cards as well. All right, team, we're back. It is Thursday today. We're just going to be doing the usual stuff. I've got, I think, 21 packages that I got to pack. I've just brought over a couple of things. There's some things from home that have sold holes I had to bring into here. This was full of stuff that I've just gone ahead and, you know, put away. Things are going good. I'm pretty happy. Started to clear this out last time I was here. Still got a couple more here that I got to just decide what I'm doing with, if it's culling or bulking and selling. Look, it's still getting pretty full in here, but we still have so much space. And I'm just, as I keep saying, I'm just picking away at it slow and steady, really just focusing on over here, focusing getting this right, focusing getting a process, focusing on getting this down pat, because the sooner I get this down pat, the sooner I can have someone else do it with me. So that's really the focus. Got the little fan in here now. He's pretty cool. Nice. Picked him up for a couple of bucks. And yeah, so I'm just setting up, getting ready to rumble and smashing out some work. 8:48, that's how long it took to get 21 items, and here's all the items. So we've got a whole bunch of different things. We've started from this way this time, see how difference it makes. We've got this guy going over to the US for about 50 bucks. That went out for 30. This is going out for 39. It's gone for 35 or 30 bucks, can't remember. That's under 30. This guy's gone pretty quick, 25 bucks. I have a feeling I might have actually, oh no, this is the one. This is the one. A couple of shirts, a Holden shirt, one of these guys, a whole bunch of DVDs. These are all individuals. Got some Pokemon stuff going out, SNES going out, more DVDs. This one's going overseas, to France actually. Just random DVDs here. We've got a bundle of called Wayne Smith going out, bundle of Xbox 360 games. Get Smart went for 69, I think it was. This guy's going out, and this guy, that was one of my first purchases ever, finally gone out, 26 bucks. I'm happy with this. Oh, also got this Lego head going out too. So yeah, pretty happy. We're going to pack it all up, see how long it takes. Not going to really document it that much. I might pick one item out of all this and make a little short out of it. Otherwise, let's get working. All right, we are all done. A little bit messy, but she's all right. Just ran the numbers, and you probably can't see this too well, but I'll put it up on screen anyway. 21 packages, total time was 70 minutes and 112. Well, it's actually, anyway, you get the point. It works out to be about 17.5 per hour, and it's taken me a total of 31%, 31.5% increase. Now, what I've been tracking is actually this little thing here, which kind of tells me how much I'm saving and what opportunity I'm making by the time saving. So if you want to know more about this, I have spoken about it a few times, but essentially, yeah, not too bad. It took us an hour and 11 minutes end to end. Not too bad. I'm going to do a few things and just pack this up and then head on out of here. I might even nick over to Salvo's on the way home, but yeah, we'll see. All right. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. Well, there you go. That has been this week. It's been pretty solid. I'm excited to be able to share this with you. Some great news. It's been a very just an experience in the last week of just soaking it all in. It's now been almost a week since I've actually resigned, meaning I haven't had it in the back of my mind. I haven't been having to fill out paperwork or anything like that, and it's just been soaking in, and it's made me super motivated. It's made me super excited for what's to come. But the reality is, you don't get nothing if you do nothing. So I've got to buckle up and now hit the road running and make sure that I can make these things happen, and start to not say work harder, because I've already been working hard, but how do I just continue to move forward? And that is day by day, doing daily steps and, small action over a long period of time. And that would be my encouragement to you. So appreciate you being here. If you do have any questions, chuck them down below. Otherwise, you have a wonderful day. Cheers.